Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So, let's see. This will be my third reading for today. So, I'm hoping that I'm helping someone out there. God has blessed me and given me this platform, this channel. And, that's what I love to do, is to help people. So, let me begin by going through my handwritten cards. So the first one, it says poverty mindset. Change your thoughts, change your reality, and thank God for everything. So I think I got one similar to this earlier in another reading. Basically, your thoughts. If you have a poverty mindset, if you are always saying, I don't have the money, I don't have the money, you should turn it around like, when my money starts coming in, I am open to receive the money that I deserve, so I can get out of this poverty mindset. Just be more, kind of just take the poverty mindset out of it. Change your thoughts. If you say, I can't afford it right now, say, now's not the time for me to purchase this, but in the future, I see that I will be able to buy this. And in the future, if I really want it, then I'll get it then. Change your reality, change your thoughts, get rid of the poverty mindset, and thank God for everything. Prayers and blessings, they work, and show appreciation for it. God hears everything we say. God knows what our heart is. And when I first started my journey, I was still in Hawaii, on Oahu. And I just decided I was going to change. When I would come out of my condo, I would smell the scent of the Hawaiian flowers. There's a tree right outside the window. And is it plumeria? Anyways, so I got a pretty smell of that. And then, the pool was lit up at night, and just walking around, going to the park and spending time with my dog, and just learning how to greet people. I come from a small town, so they don't even do that here anymore. But when I was little, we always said hi, whoever we were passing by. We always said hello, and it's really a thing of, I think, like the 50s or earlier. I don't really know. I was born in the 60s, but in the little town that I grew up in, we always just passed people by and said hello, or at least smiled and nodded to them. And like I said, it's not something that they do in the big cities, and they don't hardly do it here anymore. But just to begin my mindset change, I started walking past people and saying hello and smiling at them. And some people just weren't used to it. Like, we're in a big city and this stranger's saying hi to us, we don't even know her. And so I began to greet people. And even on Christmas, Chris left in 2019, so I had Christmas by myself. And, walking my dog, and there'd be like an old couple, an old Asian couple at the bus stop, and I would walk by them and say Merry Christmas. And they would look up at me and smile and say Merry Christmas back, because those were probably of their times, you know. And just really touched my heart that I was able to make them smile and maybe see the world in a little different place for at least a moment. And so it's a blessing for me to say it to them, as well as they received it as a blessing from me. So there I go, getting sappy again. Okay, so the next card I have is the weak do dirty deeds, the strong do whatever it takes on the right side of God. Dirty deeds. It's when you accept doing something that you know isn't right for it could be self-pleasure, it could be a self-attainment of something, money, drugs, even laughter. You know, if you did something really mean to somebody, like bullies do, or like Mean Girls, the movie on Mean Girls, they were just really mean and cruel. So the dirty deeds are anything that is done not in the right manner. You know it's wrong, but you go ahead and do it anyways. If you're doing the most, you know, and it's against God, nothing can stop what God has planned. So you need to rethink that when you're going against somebody who's minding their own business and in their own lane. And why would you want to attack somebody like that? Anyways, most real God-fearing, God-loving people, you know, of course, they will stand by God. They will speak of God. And, you know, you'll find people even standing alone. And I'm a recipient of that, because people who were against me because of the things I said regarding God and love and self-worth and your body's sacred, you know, all those things that I believe in. Those that don't believe in them, those things that I said, their body's not sacred anymore, and they don't care to keep it sacred. They just go do with whatever, with whoever, with whatever, and that's not how it's supposed to be. That's one of the things that we have to change in this world, is, you know, to teach our sons to keep it in their pants, and teach our daughters to treasure that, you know, treasure their virginity and treasure their body and hold it sacred. And, you know, since I was divorced, finalized September in 2019, and well, I just won't be with anybody. I've had opportunities to be with different men, and I won't be with somebody that I don't want to be with. In other words, I wouldn't be with somebody to gain money or to gain something of material value. That is just not me. And I thank God, you know, my daughter is a lot like me in that way. So moving forward, the next card I have is loyalty, respect, and love. Those are all the things that we should carry with us at all times. You know, if we can't love ourselves, how can we love someone else if we don't respect ourselves? How would we know how to respect someone else? And loyalty. Stay loyal to what you hold as your truth, as what you believe in your heart. The good things, the values. Maybe you weren't blessed to have someone teach you values, and I myself, when my mother died, her like she died in 74, so I would say like two years before she died, so she was about 42. She became bedridden. She stayed in bed all the time. She's got up to make us meals, and she got enough energy to go get groceries, and I think we had to do our own laundry. I really can't remember. If so, that was like my sister's or my brother's duties, you know. But my mom, she stayed in bed. So I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. She was always in bed. And so I couldn't learn from her anything, because by the time I was born, she was really too tired to really teach me anything. And my grandmother is the one that, you know, taught me about the Bible and stuff, you know. So as much as I had really a deep love for my mom and everything, my grandma was my rock. And I rekindled my relationship with my daughter recently, and I told her that was one of the up things about me leaving her there, was that she got to know her grandma, and that if I fought for her and I was able to get her and keep her with me, she would never have been able to know her grandma. And I just told her that I thought that was really important. Kind of like I sacrificed my time with her so she could have time with her grandma. And that was her dad's mom. So, you know, we all just have to learn to do better and treat other people better. So, the loyalty, the respect, the love for my deceased family members, I hold so close. And I hold them so close as if they're alive with me today. Because so many times people are forgotten once they die. They're just forgotten. It's like it's easier for them, for the people who live, to forget them. Because if they remember them, then they have the pains of when they died, I think. But I always hold my dead relatives close. Anytime I lived away since I was 17, and I moved back. I moved back when I was 58. So, might as well say 40 years I've been gone, and anytime I came into town, you know, most of my siblings lived in Santa Maria, and Guadalupe is where everyone's buried, which is about 7 to 9 miles, depending upon whose relative I was visiting with. But I always made my first stop at the cemetery. And of course it was emotional. And the last time that I came to town, and well, it was not the last time, but my daughter was little. Um, we just got so busy, and I kept trying to make a way. And the morning that we were to go to the airport, I had to come to Guadalupe, and otherwise, I'm sure it would have made me really sick getting on the plane knowing I didn't stop. So we have to have loyalty and respect and love for ourselves. And we have to be able to give it to the ones that are still alive. But if they have not healed, or they have situations that are stuck in their mind, how can they accept love from me? It's crazy how the world works, and I wish I was closer to them, but I guess I just spent too many years away. And now I just see them as people I'm related to, not people I'm close to. My oldest brother, I love him dearly, and we only spent 4 days together our whole lives, 4 days in a row together, our whole adult lives. And well, I love him dearly. He's the only one that stuck by me through it all. He's the only one that took care of me like Mom would want him to have done. And, you know, when we help somebody, sometimes we can't pay them back. Or if he helps me, maybe I can't pay him back, but I can pay it forward. And maybe I've already helped other people. And then when I needed them, they weren't there for me. And that's why it's my fault for expecting a little humanity when I've given it so freely. But again, people, doesn't matter if you're related. It should matter, but it really doesn't, because if it really did matter, it wouldn't be one-sided. So many people are so lucky to have families that are so close. After all these years, the family gets together and they celebrate the birthdays, and they spend time and really enjoy each other's company. We haven't had that since Mom was alive, and even when Mom was alive, it was remarkable for what my parents could do for us, It was something. But, traditions just die. And that's the thing about loving who you are and where you come from, and sharing that with other people, because people don't realize what kind of pain you've actually endured. They don't know all the heartaches that you've had in your lifetime. They don't know how much loss that you've taken. And, I think if people knew your story, they would appreciate you a lot more. But, then they have to want to know your story, right? So it's just people, time, availability, and wanting to be a part of that person's life. And I have to accept things the way they are, and I still have to, love everybody from a distance, and hold those close to me that, that want to spend time with me. And I leave it like that. Okay, On the back, it has have a strong relationship with spoken words. Sometimes people are numb to what you're trying to convey. Sometimes you can convey those feelings of love or wanting to be a part of someone's life, but they're not really telling you what is their life about. They're not making time for you to say what their life is about. And they certainly can't tell you when people are saying negative things about you that makes you stay away. When I was growing up, I had siblings to tell me different things about my cousins, and I'm the baby of my family, so I always felt like I couldn't be myself around my cousins, because if my siblings who said things saw me, then they would treat me the same way. They would make me feel that way, the way that they're saying they felt about my cousins. So when I got back, I went to one of my cousins and I said, that's why I stayed away. Even when I came into town, that's why I stayed away. And it was like I was trying to tell them, basically that I wanted to spend more time with them, but they took it the wrong way. So maybe I have a hard time saying the right words, or the wrong time, the right time, the wrong place, or I'm not sure, but I just think that if you're extra kind to somebody, that they think you want something, which is really weird to me. I'm nice to a lot of people, but it doesn't mean I want something in return. Maybe a friendship, maybe a high five or a hug, or hey Marcia, I'm running down to the store. I'm gonna get you a 7-Up, okay? I'm gonna bring you back something to drink. Something like that. But most people think, oh, she's a gold digger. It's like, I'm a gold digger, GOAL. I have my own goals that I want to set, that I want to meet, that I want to do. I actually, my first husband, I had like 5 figures, and I actually bought 1,000 shares of Amazon for $100 each. And I told him the Motley Crew said in time they'd be worth $2,400 each, and I believed in them. I watched these guys for 3 years, day in and day out, and their numbers, when they predicted something, in a short time those predictions became reality. So Amazon was up $100 a share, and that was high back in the 90s. If I had a solid husband who believed in what I believed, we would be like multi-millionaires. And I only say that because if I had 1,000 shares at $100 each, and now the 1,000 shares are worth $2,400 each, that's $2,400,000. And then if you factor in all the times it went up and split, yeah, well, life would be so different. But I wasn't destined to have that with him. And I also had someone in a management position in front of everybody tell me a female part in Tagalog. He thought I didn't understand, and all the islanders, they all understood certain words for different nationalities, because that's what they did. I could have got $1 million. Now I have another opportunity for another $1 million for defamation of character. I already reported it to this company, and there was no receipts. Well, now there's plenty of receipts. So I could go after the person who tried to defame me, tried to taint my name, and I can go after the major company who allowed it, who were warned about it and did nothing. But you know what I say? Let God handle that. I'm not here to fight anybody. I'm here to tell you, people out there, the things I've gone through and how I managed to heal myself. And the healing is forever. But the more you do your meditations, your prayers, your thankfulness, your appreciation, your gift giving, being these things that God, everybody has a different name for God. God is love, love is God. So when you talk about love over hate, love over hate, those are the things that help heal you. I was the least financial grounded person in those years when I lived after Chris and I split up. But you know, I still managed to give, still managed to make these little drawings, and it helped heal me, and it helped heal those that received one. It's the gift of giving and not really wanting anything in return. So God has taken care of me all these years. Okay, so we are 27 minutes in. Gonna have to scoot it up. Engage in the good things in life. What's good for you? Do those things. You know, on your days off, on your time that you're not working your job, you know, do those things that make you feel good. Family things, outings, having a picnic, listening to good music, having a glass of wine. Okay, the backside says manipulating bully. You have to speak up for yourself. Those who are bullies know that eventually you're going to grow out of that and someone's going to start bullying you. Know that what you put out always comes back to you. Okay, so this next card, gunshots fired at 2:24 a.m. Maybe this resonates for you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the gunshots represent an argument or a fight or some type of thievery, some kind of loss. Be thankful when you go to sleep at night. And dear God, I made it home safe. I'm home safe. God, cover me while I'm sleeping tonight. Let me have a restful sleep. The next card I have is legions upon legions of demons. You have the authority to return to sender and never return. You have the authority as a child of God to command the demons out of your space, out of your mind, out of your heart, out of your soul, out of your body. Command them to leave and never return. What happens is you have to ask the Lord to fill your heart with love. When the space becomes empty, it has to be filled with something. So when you send away demons, there's 1,000 more demons waiting to jump right in. So you have to ask God to cover me with your protection, with your love. Fill my heart, fill my soul with your love, God, as I sleep and as I move forward. The next card I have is the highest perspective. Sometimes we're in the middle of the day, maybe it's a hot summer day, maybe you've been having a lot of things going on at work, maybe you just feel frazzled inside. You need to take a step back, regroup, refocus, and say, this thing or these things that are going on around me, I'm going to put myself on a higher perspective and look over the situation in a different way. So instead of reacting to someone in a negative way because they're negative to you, you got to figure out the right words and the right tone of voice to convey to them, like, I'm not your enemy, we're here to work together. Let's not fight about this. Let's get the solution so we can get moving. And the backside is stabilize your life. So I need to take a drink real quick. We're at 32 minutes. And then I'll get to the cards. All right. Psychic Tarot. We pulled rest and rejuvenation. This card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particularly emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in the numerology means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and continue moving steadily forward. Allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthier and stronger foundation, enabling you to take your next step. Okay, next we have Native Spirit, and we pulled Grandmother Earth. Stop and take measure of your life. Well, that's kind of a repeat of the other card. Assess who you are and where you are. Get grounded, make plans for the future, but don't act on those plans until you're ready and feel secure in stepping forward. There is a profound source of strength and power within you, and it is expanding now. Put your roots down. This is the time of preparation and going deeper. Your native spirit wants you to know Grandmother Earth provides the trees, plants, flowers, rivers, streams, oceans, mountains, and valleys, and supports us all with her bounty. She's stable and strong in her devotion to us. You are supported and loved even if you're not always sure of it. Strength is growing within you. Don't rush, slow down. The seeds that you plant now will bring abundance in the future, but only if you take the time to nurture those new beginnings. Take time to plan your future carefully. Don't rush into anything. Security and protection surround you. You are safe. If you're thinking of making financial investments and receive this card, it's telling you that this is a good time to do so. It's not a time to take risks. The journey to deepen your connection to Grandmother Earth and bring security in all forms into your life. Walk barefoot on the earth, place your hands in the earth, or make investments. Imagine the strengthening, grounding energy in the earth filling you and your life. Next is Archangel Power Tarot. And we pulled the Knight of Raphael. Be prepared to be swept off your feet. Someone has the ability to bring deep emotions to the surface. This card often represents falling in love. It can also herald creative and artistic proposals and career opportunities, as well as situations or topics that make your heart flutter happily. People, someone who is a champion of emotion and artistic endeavors, a person who is in love with love itself and anything romantic, poetic, dramatic, optimistic, sophisticated, introspective. Additional meanings: engagements and weddings, rose-colored glasses, powerful emotions, the need to get grounded. Okay, the next is Akashic Tarot. And we pulled the Queen of Forces. So you see the Queen, she's got sunlight and moonlight. A queen dressed in a gown of rich colors and textures stands atop the tower of her great castle, happily looking over the rich, verdant hills of her domain. In the far distance, her husband returns from his travels. This card represents a woman of authority. She is sensitive, helpful, and thoughtful. She is confident in her authority, but always happy to celebrate the success of others. She could be a love interest for you or someone in your life. Besides referring to a positive woman of business, this card can represent you or another who is about to climb the ladder of success. Positions in banking, investment, real estate, and management may be coming. Self-employment in any industry could also be at hand, as well as greater financial independence, increased authority, or creative autonomy at work. Special note: take note when the Queen and King of Keys appear in the same spread. Oh shoot. I was reading the Queen of Keys. This is the Queen of Forces. Here we go. I'm sorry about that. Alright, again, here's the Queen of Forces. This woman shows balancing the energies of the sun and the moon, with the river flowing beneath her feet. She represents a woman who can help bring greater balance to your life. She brings an unusual combination of power and peace, creativity and receptivity in both her energy and her support. Sometimes this card can represent a person in your life, either you or another, coming into a phase of great power and ability to sustain it with wonderful results. There is a gift of grace and serene understanding when this card is upright. It also brings new roles and opportunities, careers in many of the sciences, global communication, nature, and energy may now be available to you. The Queen of Forces could also indicate the appearance of a possible love interest or an associate in business or in a creative project who has powerful influence and connections for you or for another. Maybe someone you know or somebody new, but when this card appears, there's a tender yet powerful support. During this time, choose to support yourself as well. You hold the forces of sun, creativity, and the moon, receptivity, and only you yourself can direct the energy of your eternal life. Alrighty, next we have, divine feathers. And let's see, it fell out where it belongs. Okay. So here we have the pheasant, and that's what the feather looks like. The pheasant. The modern pheasant is a larger bird that dwells in the hedges, brush, and grassy areas. First traced back to an area in Greece near the Phasis River, from which they derive their name. They are now considered a domesticated bird. For this reason, they have a symbolic association with family, life, and fertility. Their long tail feathers, commonly called plumes, are associated with sexuality, fertility, creativity, and the expression of their energy. Pheasant feathers are varied in stripes, tapering in size, and are generally warm in coloration. These traits are also associated with feathering the nest or creating a vibrant, comfortable home life. The message. The divine messenger strolls in to share the gifts of renewed creativity and fertility in all aspects. Have you lost interest in satisfying and fertile home life? With its warm colors and beautiful plumes, pheasant reminds us how important it is to have a place that feels harmonious and supportive. Not only do these energies enhance deeper connections with a partner, but they also provide fertile ground for creativity. Sexual energy is the creative force that manifests in many ways. It can generate new life in physical form or fuel creativity in projects and ideas. This may be an area you've neglected while busy working on other aspects in your life. Now is the time to stop and direct attention to your methods of connecting and creating. The energies. Creativity, fertility, and sexuality. The seasons all year round. The element is earth and air. The color is brown, white, and cream. Your affirmation is, I am vibrant, vital, creative, and alive. So you see, this is the first time I actually read this. But the energies, creativity, fertility, and sexuality. So when I read this, when you have like the person, that's your person. Okay, when he feels like you're his person, and you, a woman, feels like he's your person, or whatever sexes you have mixed up. Okay, you got to put it where it belongs. But for me, it's a man and a woman. So the pheasant. The spirit of the pheasant, when you are sexually aroused, when you are having sex with your partner, that's when things really manifest. That's when, your love really grows. And that's another reason why I just won't have like a fling with somebody. I have to want to be in a love relationship with someone before I share my sacred body, right? Okay, so we are at 44 minutes. Okay, message from the mermaids. We have relaxation. So we have had a couple relaxing cards. Like don't rush in, just figure things out, and you know, don't wait all year, but but don't rush in. Figure out what you want to put out to the world, your intentions, the things you want to manifest. It's time now for rest and recuperation. Have you been overdoing things or working too hard? If so, relaxation is required now. Recharge and relax. Mermaids know how to relax, and this says chill out. If you've been stressed, this card is telling you to stop what you're doing and relax. Do you find it difficult to stop and relax? The relaxation card. A lot of us are workaholics. A lot of us have other things to do after work. A lot of us work a lot of hours just to make ends meet. The bottom line is when you're tired, when you feel like you can't think straight, when you feel like everybody's at you, you have to step away. And you have to say, time out. I'm one person. I can only do one thing at a time. Stop taxing me. Let me do my job. Let me do what I need to do. Don't dump on me all these different things. Let me do one thing at a time. So I make sure I do that one thing right. And sometimes you just have to stick up for yourself and say, you're putting too much on me, while you're sitting behind your desk, or while there's other people that could be helping pulling the loads, or whatever the situation is, right? You're only one person. People can't expect you to do the work of 10 people because you have done it for the past 5 years or 10 years. Make the other people step up and do better and be better, right? And that's the thing about corporate is it's always important to know who the go-to people are. Like, are you going to go see Sally in Garden for something in electrical? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to find the right people in the right department to find what it is that you're looking for. So in any industry, you have to know who your go-to people are. At the same time, when you have 3 people in that department and only one person's the go-to person, what is that a reflection on the other 2 people? The other 2 people aren't willing to, be there for a customer, whatever the situation is. It's important to have your go-to people, but don't overload your go-to people, and appreciate them, because one day you're going to overload them so much they're going to say, bye, I've had enough. And then everyone in that department will be suffering because the one that did most of the work is now gone. And then the other people are used to working slower. Now they have to really step up the pace when they could have stepped up the pace and alleviated, made it a little equal between the 3 of them. So these are the kind of things that corporate America allows. Corporate America, they don't really care as long as the work gets done. Everybody's expendable. And that's the sad thing about companies. Everybody's expendable. What kind of quality of work are you going to get? You get someone who's senior there 20 years, who you push out the door, you kick out the door. And then you pick up someone who's right out of college, who just knows text, who knows nothing really about hands-on. Or it could be someone who isn't a college graduate, just someone who maybe worked in a similar industry in a different company. They still have to come in and they still have to learn everything all over again. So, anyways, let me move on. We're at 49 minutes. So the next one we have is Your Soul Purpose. And this one we pulled Intuitive, Phantom Quartz Point. Do you Just know things about people or situations without conscious reasoning. Embrace your intuitive nature. Believe yourself and trust your gut feelings. Look deeper and uncover information to aid yourself or others in restoring balancing and clarity. Your affirmations. It's easy for me to see beyond the obvious. I am extremely intuitive and perceptive. I am aware of what thoughts, people, or situations need to be realigned in my life. I am aware of what thoughts, people, and situations need to be realigned in my life. Okay. Alright, so because we're getting close to the time, I'm going to just pass that up. We've got one more and then the tarot. Animal message. And we pulled the moose. With self-reliance and measured patience, adversity will be overcome. Mythic moose, primal in her power, ranges mysteriously alone through the world's great boreal forest, taking her own decisions and vigorously defending herself with sharp hooves and mighty charges. Moose teaches the self-reliance that develops strength of character and the ability to overcome adversity. Secure moose has no need to rush into love and thereby court failure. She counsels that you too let love come in its own time and so create a relationship of trust, profundity, and true meaning. Okay, so now the tarot. Got the Knight of Coins, the Knave of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Devil, the Death, the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and Temperance. So just by receiving these cards, I see there's two immature people, the Knight of Coins and the Knave of Swords. They decided that they're going to put someone through the Ten of Wands. They're going to make them carry a bunch of burdens that belong to them, hoping to transfer their karma so that they can be free of all the bad things that they've done. The devil, they did devilish things. See, there's two people. It's these two people. Knight of Coins and the Knave of Swords. They wanted somebody to die. And there's two heads down there. So what happens when people do this witchcraft, hoping that someone dies? When they're going against a child of God, knowingly or unknowingly, it's their actions. It's a return to sender. There's a new beginning. For this Empress. You see, she's not dead. She has a new beginning. She gets more because they were trying to take from her. And the temperance is here to make sure that everything is shown as the truth and what those two were doing to deceive others, to try to get rid of their bad karma. They thought they could switch places and take the Empress's fortune away from her. What they should have been doing was concentrating on themselves, staying in their own lane. Stop gossiping and telling lies. Stop ostracizing people because they think they have a place in power. When the truth comes out, all those things that they asked for this Empress to have is going to be returned back to them. So as an Empress, all you can do is pray. Thank God that you had God's protection over you. And pray that you're releasing all the burdens about this situation, and whatever happens it's God's will. Your will has nothing to do with revenge or setting the record straight, because God's going to be there to do that for you, so you can have rest and peace and love in your life. That's the end of my reading. Thank you all. God bless you. And aloha. See you the next time.